I sure would like to get him on because he has been on in the past, and he has really strongly made the case that they just simply all could not be.
Hello?
Yes, hi, Michael.
Hi.
Let's see, it's like morning back there in England, right?
Yeah.
So, see, now you're on the air,
Yeah.
and you're on the air with Dr. Simeon Hein. And
the doctor of sociology, I think.
Yes, actually, that's correct. And he's made the case that all of the crop circles, virtually all of them, the large, intricate ones that I think you and I have agreed in the past, it would be impossible for humans to have made. He says they are, in fact, made by humans. And one of my callers called and said, well, I just called Michael in Great Britain, and he said that's rubbish. And that was the word he used, rubbish. And so I thought, well, okay, fine. Let's get you on the air with Dr. Hein and see.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Well, was rubbish the word you used?
No, it wasn't. The word I used was...
Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't.
No, I won't use it. I mean, it's a nonsense. I've known Simeon for many years, and in fact, Simeon has approached me and thanked me for being the person whose lecture brought him into the study of crop circles. And I have to say that I'm deeply ashamed of it, because he's trivialized, traduced, perverted the subject, the study of the subject. I mean, there is absolutely not an ounce of support for his nonsensical hypothesis.
Dr. Hein?
Well, I mean, how many demonstration man-made circles do you have to see to be convinced that people actually can make these circles? Now, I want to say that Michael is correct. He did bring me into, he was one of the people that brought me into the study of this subject, and I respect him. But even people that respect each other can disagree.
The demonstration man-made circle includes all circles that ever arrived? Are you saying if I
have not.
One banknote, do I destroy the American currency?
Michael, because hold on.
Yeah.
Because of the distortion, Michael, get away from your phone a little there in Great Britain. We get this strange Atlantic thing.
Can I restate my position?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm arguing that all crop circles are man-made. There is clearly evidence from witness reports, people that I know that have seen ones that are made by something else. But my argument is simply that I believe the mantle of crop circle authorship shifted in the 90s to human-made circles from something else, mostly from something else to mostly human. I don't believe it takes away from the magic of the crop circles one iota, and I think they're just as mysterious as they've always been. I just think the mechanics of it is a little different than I originally thought, but I know that they're real and that they contain a communication from other dimensions, other information and energy, and I think that human beings are allowed to participate in that magic. I think that's why we're here on the planet.
Michael, what is the best evidence that you could cite that there have been circles made that it would be totally and completely impossible for man to have done, large, intricate ones?
Well, there are two evidences that I can cite, and one of the best evidences that I can cite is the fact that on every occasion when people come up with this nonsensical claim of the magnitude of human participation, on study it's found to be utterly hollow. Now, when Colin Andrews ran around with his 80% claim, I spent 6 months studying his work. I probably know more about Colin Andrews' claim than even Colin Andrews does.
Oh, yeah.
I would recommend your readers to log into swirlednews.com and look at my 2 articles called 80% Proof, which shows that this claim was utterly spurious. Now, going on from that, all the hoaxers are demonstrably out to deceive. They never give out real information. They delight in the deceit of others. And Ron Russell and Simeon Hein and many others are regarded as the hunted heads, the trophies on their walls. In this country, these people are sneered at for falling to con men. Now, this is one side of the argument. The other side of the argument, the reality of the circles, as opposed to the hollowness of the claims otherwise, the reality of the argument is simply brought about by the assiduous and continuing studies of people who are crop circle researchers and are finding continuously components in circles which could not be randomly or accidentally placed there by a bunch of people at night time. I'm not a professor of sociology. I was a professor of architecture, and so I know about geometry and design and number, and I have been finding for 14 years now a consistency of what I can only call genius in the design construction of these forms. And I know Matt Williams and John Lundberg. I know all these people. I've known them forever. And I wouldn't allow them into my freshman class. And the suggestion that these people, because Simeon has been seduced into watching a staged demonstration, the suggestion that these people, these people could attain the majesty and precision and articulacy of the program of formations we've been having for all these years is ludicrous. I mean, we have now had some research done by Alan Brown, who's a young man, a geometer of very great skill, who has backtracked over the whole program of quintuplets, which are the dice 5-spot formations, early formations. The whole program of these has been studied since the mid-80s.
Okay.
And various protocols, geometric protocols, have been thrown at them, and it has been discovered that every single one of these formations squares the circle. Now, this is one of the most important ancient exercises in sacred geometry.
Michael and Dr. Hein, look, it's either been demonstrated by a group of people that they can do one of these 10-acre intricate monsters, or it hasn't. Is it possible that humans can do it physically? Can do it in some of the times that we've seen these things done, or not?
No.
Well, I think they can, and I think Michael has not mentioned, he's only mentioned 2 circles out of about 40 that I know, circle makers. And some of the best of the circle makers, he doesn't even, not familiar with them.
These
circle makers have said they would like to do a demonstration in the daytime for all of us to see. The big ones, I'm talking about the big ones.
Well, baby, let's have it. I'd like to see it.
We need to find a farmer, pay the farmer for the field. It all has to be set up. We would like to do this. Yes, and
we do it every year. Film companies come over and they think it proves something. Are you, Simeon, familiar with John Lundberg?
Of course. John Lundberg is one of...
stated specifically that the large Milk Hill Formation was not made by people and could not be made by people.
And do you believe him? You just said
occasion.
You said all the circle makers are deceivers. You said the circle makers are deceivers, Michael, and now you're saying they come up to you and tell you who's the author and you believe them. I would tell you that the first thing a circle maker would say is no human could make those. Do you know why? Most of them do not want it to become forward that they make them because they know that people like you and other researchers will pay more attention to them if you think they are not being made by people. And most of them are not like Matt Williams.
Did you ever go into Milk Hill?
Excuse me?
Did you go to Milk Hill?
No, I had left England right before
I went into Milk Hill. And I have to say, its size